Hey, what's up guys? Ryan here from ExtremeTerrain, and today I'm here with the RedRock 4x4 PNC Side Step Bars in textured black, fitting your 2018 and up two-door Wrangler JL. Now this is going to be for those of you Wrangler owners that are looking for a very affordable set of side steps to gain you some ease of access and some additional side protection. Now options such as this with this styling can range anywhere from $95 to over $400, and these are coming in right around $120, making them not only one of the most affordable options in the aftermarket, but one of the most affordable options on our website and for your Wrangler. Now these are very easy to install. They are a direct bolt-on utilizing factory mounting points and coming with brand new hardware, so there's no drilling or modification required. I'm going to give these a very easy 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, as you can get both of these steps installed in about 2 hours just using basic hand tools. Now these steps are a great way to change up the look of your Jeep while adding some additional side protection and some functionality. Now these are going to gain you some ease of access into your Wrangler, whether you're hopping in the driver's seat or if you're reaching any cargo that you may have stored up top. Now for some of you stock guys, of course, it's not going to be that hard to get into your Wrangler, but for those of you that are modified, have a lift kit and larger tires, you know that it can be a bit of a pain to hop up in there, and this is going to be a very functional option to add to your Wrangler. Now if you're an avid off-roading enthusiast, these are going to be a pretty good option for those trails. Unlike a drop step, which is going to have a step that basically hangs down, this can get caught on a lot of obstacles. This is not going to be an ideal option for those tough trails. Now these do have a bracket and they do hang down a little bit, and that is something that can get caught on a tree root or a rock, so it's something you want to keep in mind if you're going to tackle those really tough trails. Now, like I said, these are a direct bolt-on and they mount in 2 points, both to the pinch weld and the underbody of the Jeep. This makes them a very sturdy unit and they're going to stay in place. Now these are going to add some additional side protection to your Wrangler. Obviously they're going to handle slight bumps and bruises on the trail or if you're deflecting a wayward shopping cart in a parking lot. Now the brackets are made of heavy-duty steel and the actual side step is made of heavy-duty steel tubing. This is going to make them very strong, and for those of you that aren't a fan of shiny chrome options, want to tone it down a bit, this has a very nice textured black powder coating that's going to add to that rugged, aggressive styling of your Wrangler, and also it's going to protect your investment from the elements, keeping it corrosion protected. Now these have a very nice built-in step pad, and this is going to give you a sure foothold, ensuring that when you go stepping on these, you're not going to go slipping off. So all in all, if you're looking for a very affordable set of side steps that are going to look great on your Wrangler and are very easy to install, then I think this is a great option to go with. So with all that being said, let's hop into our install. Tools that we use for this install: 10mm wrench, 16mm wrench, 1/4" drive air ratchet, 17mm socket, 13mm socket, 10mm socket, 3/8 drive impact. All right guys, so before we kick off this installation, of course, if you have factory side steps or ruby rails, you need to get those off. And all of that factory stuff is relatively easy to get off. It's just held on by a few nuts and bolts, and you can get all of that off with a 13mm and a 10mm. We need to make way for these brackets, and before we actually get our step attached, we're gonna be hanging these brackets on the body because of course our step is gonna mount to those. So for each side, since this is a 2-door, not a 4-door, we're gonna have 2 sets of brackets, unlike those 4-door guys, which have 3 sets of brackets, and these brackets are going to be labeled. So they're gonna be in pairs. One bracket is gonna hang from the pinch weld, the other one is gonna bolt to the underside of the body, then they're gonna bolt together. It's gonna make a very strong hanging point. Now, like I said, these are labeled, so we're gonna have DF and DC for our driver's front and driver's center, and the same thing is gonna go for the passenger side. You're gonna have a PF and a PC. So I'm gonna go grab the hardware for this stuff, grab a creeper and some tools, and we'll get this thing installed. So now that we're under the Jeep, you can see exactly where we're going to mount these. These are gonna go right here. We're actually gonna start at the driver's front. So we have our DF bracket. Now on this bracket, you're gonna have 2 slotted holes, and then you're gonna have a single large slotted hole. This is actually going to mount to the body right here. We have a pre-drilled hole with threads in it that's from the factory, and what we're gonna do is screw this bracket in. So the 8mm bolt, the longest 8mm bolt that they give you, we're going to use that to go up through that body. Each one is going to get a lock washer against the bolt head and then a flat washer. So what we'll do is just place this bracket up in there, and then we'll thread this bolt in. Once we get that, we'll rotate that outward like that, and then we can attach our secondary bracket. So next we're going to take our secondary DF bracket, and we're going to place this. So this is going to have a spot at the top where it's going to bolt to these 2 bolt holes in the pinch weld. We're going to set it on the back side of this front bracket that we bolted to the underbody. And then we're going to take our M6 bolts, our 6mm bolts. These are going to be the smallest and thinnest bolts that they give you in the kit. Each one's going to get a flat washer on that. And then what we're going to do, we're going to pass that from the outside to the inside. On the inside, we're going to do another flat washer, and then we'll do a small nylock nut. Same thing for the other hole. Flat washer on the bolt, through both the panels, flat washer on the back, and we'll do another nylock nut. Now the last bolt that we have to install is going to be to connect these two pieces together. So the bolt that is going to connect these two brackets is going to be the M10 bolt. This is going to be the biggest bolt they gave us in the kit. We'll do a flat washer up against the bolt head, go through both of these brackets, another flat washer, and then we're going to use a large nylock nut. So we'll go ahead and do that. We got this one all assembled, so we'll go to the back, we'll get those other brackets on. So once we move to the back, we're going to take our DC bracket, and same thing, we're going to take that one big slotted hole, we're going to face that, push it up against the body, and then we're going to install that long M8 bolt with a lock washer and a flat washer on it. So we'll get that all the way threaded up like that, finger tight, and then we'll go ahead and install our secondary bracket. So our secondary bracket is going to be marked DC for this driver's side. Same thing, we're going to set it on the back side of this bracket that we just installed, and we're going to take those tiny little M6 bolts. We're going to go through the pinch weld, through the bracket, and on the back side, same thing. Flat washer, and a little tiny nylock nut. Now at this point in time, you can snug all this hardware up just so it's not as loose as it is, but we're gonna go and grab our step, get our step bolted on, then we'll tighten everything down. So next thing we're gonna do is grab our step and we're gonna place it on. Now these have little threaded nutserts on the bottom, so we wanna line them up with the slots in our brackets. And of course you wanna choose the right side. You got a 50-50 shot, so if you're wrong, just go grab the other one. And then we're gonna take this other hardware and we'll get these steps attached. So the hardware for the step is going to be these M8 bolts. These are slightly shorter, and you'll notice that they have a captured lock washer and flat washer pre-installed. So we're going to just go through the brackets, thread those into the step. You're going to have 4 per side. So we're going to do 2 up front here, and then we'll go to the back, get those other 2 installed. All right, so we got all of our hardware installed. I'm gonna go grab some tools, then we get all this stuff tightened down. Now these brackets have a ton of adjustability. They all pretty much have slots in them, so of course everything's gonna move around. You wanna set all these brackets exactly where you want, and you can always shift them around later and adjust them as needed. I'm gonna start with this top bracket up here that goes up through the floor. We're gonna use a 13mm socket on an impact to run that in. After that, we're gonna take a 10mm socket and a 10mm wrench, and I'm gonna tighten these pinch weld bolts. Now for this big M10 bolt that connects the 2 brackets together, I'm going to use a 17mm socket for the nut and a 16mm wrench for the bolt head. Now the steps are also on a slotted bracket, so you can always just tilt and adjust those wherever you want. They're going to use that same 13mm socket. So then we'll move up to the front and we'll do the same thing. Then last but not least, we're going to swap that 13mm socket back in and tighten up these last 2 bolts on the step. All right guys, so now that we have this side completely installed, you can do that same exact thing to get the other side installed. However, that's going to wrap up my review and install. For more videos and products like this, check us out at ExtremeTerrain.com.